Today's class deals with Costlade type of mouthparts. The different types of mouthparts under this Costlade type. There is the piercing and sucking type, which are common in hemipterous insects, which are plant bugs, sap of plants. Piercing and sucking Dipterus type, mosquito type, which feeds on blood. And rasping and sucking type. They are also phytophagous, thrips, and sponging type in housefly and siphoning type in moths and butterflies. Costlade mouthparts are primarily used for sucking liquids and can be broken down into two subgroups, those that possess stylets and those that do not. So what are stylets? Stylets are needle-like projections used to penetrate plant and animal tissues. The stylet types, that is those mouthparts having stylets, Hemiptera, Trubus, Diptera flies and Cypnoptera fleas. Some hosted mouthpart lack stylets, unable to pierce tissue. These insects must rely on easily accessible food sources such as nectar at the base of the flowers. One example is long siphoning proboscis butterflies and moths, which are coming under Lepidoptera. Although the method of liquid transfer differs from that of butterflies proboscis, the rasping, sucking type, rostrum of some flies are also considered to be hosted type without stylets. First one is piercing and sucking type, which are found in hemipterous bugs which feed on plants by sucking the sap of the plant. Here the labium projects downwards from anterior part of the head like a beak. So the labium, they will form a beak. Beak is four segmented and grooved throughout its entire length. At the base of the labium, there is a triangular flap-like structure called labrum. Labrum is neither involved in piercing or sucking. It functions as a protective covering for the stylets found within the groove. They are lying close together and situated for piercing and sucking. The tips of the stylets may have minute teeth-like piercing the plant tissue. The inner maxillary stylets are doubly grooved on their inner faces. When they are closely opposed, they form two canals, the foot canal and next one the salivary canal, through which sap and saliva are conducted simultaneously. Saliva contains enzymes or toxins that can distort plant cell wall to permit stylets to penetrate down and reach phloem for sucking the sap. Both valves are absent. This picture shows the piercing and sucking type of mouthparts of plant feeding bugs. You can see the different parts arranged. Then coming to the piercing and sucking parts of Dipterus insects which feed on blood of mammals and birds. Mouthparts of female mosquito consist of elongate labium which is grooved forming a gutter which exposes 6 stylets. So there will be 6 stylets and the 6 stylets are enclosed in the labium. The stylets are composed of labrum, epipharynx enclosing the foot canal, the hypopharynx containing the salivary canal and 2 maxillae and 2 mandibles. Both the ends of the maxillary stylets and the mandibular stylets are saw-like and suited for piercing flesh. The stylets are inserted into host skin by a strong downward and forward thrust of the body. Both mandibles and maxillae are reduced in male and they feed on plant nectar and uses decaying fruits in the case of male mosquitoes. Female pierces the skin of human beings into which it ejects saliva containing an anticoagulant to keep the blood flowing without clotting. And second one is an anesthetic agent to keep the victim unaware of the bite and sucks up the blood. Labium does not pierce but folds up or back as a stylet pierce. Maxillary pulpi are present. So this is a picture of the sucking mouthpart, piercing and sucking mouthpart of mosquito. You can see the 6 stylets here. maxillae, then mandible, then labium, labrum. So labrum and labium, in between we can see mandibles, hypopharynx and maxilla. So the labium is enclosing all the structures. After the labium we have the labrum, then we have the mandibles, hypopharynx and maxillae. Again the picture of the mouth part, we can see the star tooth like structure of the stylus. The next one is the chewing and lapping type of mouth part, which is seen in honeybee. Here the labrum and the mandibles are in a biting and chewing type of parts, but mandibles are blunt and non-toothed. They are useful to crush and shave wax for foam building, ingest foreign grains and other manipulative functions. Maxillolabial structures are modified to form lapping tongue. The tongue unit consists of gallia of maxillae, two labial pulpi and elongated flexible hairy glossa of labrum. The glossa terminates into a small circular spoon-shaped lobe called spoon or bottom or flabellum, which is useful to lick the nectar. So here the photograph shows the mouth parts of honeybee. We can see the mandibles, the maxillae, the labial pulpi, the glossa and the labrum in this picture. When coming to the rasping and sucking type of mouth parts, the different type of mouth part which is noticed in thrips. Mouth cone consists of labrum, labium and maxillae. There are three stylex derived from two maxillae and left mandible. So only a left mandible is seen. Right mandible is absent. Stylex are useful to lacerate the plant tissue, and oozing sap is sucked by the mouth cone. Both maxillary pulpi and labial pulpi are present. The next type is mandibulosuctorial type. The mandibulosuctorial type is noticed in grubs of annelids. Here mandibles are sickle shaped. They elongate, sickle shaped and grooved on its inner surface. So two bigger sickle shaped mandibles are exposed. We can see them. Each maxillae is elongated and fixed against the mandibular groove from a closed foot canal. So each maxillae is elongated and fixed against the mandibular groove to form a closed foot canal. So there will be a foot canal on both sides of the mandible. The body of the insect victim is pierced by the opposing mandibles and the fluids are extracted. So this is a picture of the mandibulosuctorial type of mouthpart of annelid. You can see the grooved mandibles and the maxilla fitting on the mandibles. Antennae also we can see, the eyes also we can see here. The next type of mouthpart is sponging type of mouthpart, and this is seen in houseflies. The proboscis is fleshy, it is elbowed and retractile and projects downward from the head. The proboscis can be differentiated into basal rostrum and distal hostella. The proboscis consists of labium which is grooved on anterior surface. Within this groove lies labrum or the epipharynx enclosing the foot canal and slender hypopharynx containing the salivary canal. Mandibles are absent here. Maxillae are represented by a single segmented maxillary pulpi. The end of the proboscis is enlarged, sponge-like and two lobes which act as a suction pad. They are called as oral disc or labella. The surface of the labella are transversed by capillary canals called pseudotrachea which collect the liquid food and convey it to the canal. Then labella function as sponging organs and are capable of taking exposed fluids. These insects often spit enzymes containing saliva into the solid food to liquefy them. So they will first liquefy the food and then suck the food by the sponging type of mouthparts. So this is a picture which shows the sponging type of mouthparts. Here we can see an enlarged labium which encloses the labrum, and labrum is enclosing the food canal. Then the hypopharynx also we can see, which encloses the salivary canal. So this is the photograph of the mouth part of a housefly. You can see the pseudotrachea here. Then we can see different parts, rostrum, then also the hostelum, you can see, and various other maxillary pulpi, labrum, remainder, labellum, pseudotrachea, all the parts can be seen in this. This is another photograph showing the siphoning type of sponging type of mouthparts. The next one is the siphoning type of mouthparts which are noticed in moths and butterflies. Mouthpart consists of elongate sucking tube or proboscis. So they will have a proboscis. It is formed by two greatly elongated gallia of the maxillae. So from the maxillae, the gallia part is elongated or zipped together by interlocking spines and hooks. Gallia are glued on the inner surface. When they are fitting together closely, they form a suctorial food canal through which the nectar is sucked up. The proboscis is coiled up like watch string and kept beneath the head when it is not in use. By pumping of blood into gallia, the proboscis is extended. Other mouthparts are reduced or absent except the labial pulpi and smaller maxillary pulpi. This is the photograph of the siphoning type of mouthparts in moths and butterflies. We can see the labrum and also the maxilla, where the gallia is opposing together to form a siphoning tube. Again, here also we can see the picture how the interlocking of two gallia and food canal in between.